Welcome back to our next big idea roundtable discussion presented by Addison Magazine. I am Sam Nicholson, your moderator.
It would come probably as no surprise that what I'm talking about today is food culture. And I think the next big idea for Addison is to really dive deeper into that, both from a kind of a grassroots standpoint and also a little more of a sophisticated standpoint. We need, first of all, an Addison Farmers Market. Several of the great things about Farmers Market is they really bring a sense of community to the area. It gives people a place to really come to, visit, stay, bring their families, experience things in life that are both educational and life enhancing from a health standpoint.
So what we'd like to do is kind of open up the discussion to everybody and see what everybody has to say about it.
I'll make a comment from a retailer perspective. I mean, one of the things, as you look to do it, because I do think it's a fabulous idea. Remember, you did just get a Whole Foods at Village on the Parkway, right? So you got to temper the expectations of Whole Foods as it relates to that versus what are the types of things that you're doing, I think, at the new farmers market that you might put in Addison. But I do think there's can be some fabulous synergies with the one that you got involved in downtown, because they're quite a distance from each other. There are people that, let's say, live in Frisco that aren't going to go to the downtown Dallas Farmers Market. Right. So you've got a whole area of people that live north that effectively can come in that direction, and you really might be able to partner with the Dallas Farmers Market, and it almost becomes a satellite effectively, because obviously when you started, you're not going to be as big as the Dallas Farmers Market on the first day. What has that taken? You said 40 years to create down there, right?
Yeah.
So, well, I'd say at Vitruvian, we've got Urban Acres that comes over to Vitruvian every other week, and with subscribers, and not only people that live at Vitruvian, but people live at the bigger area. Now, granted, it's only every other Saturday, but they've got a huge following of thing. And it's not really, they don't really select what they get. They take a pre-selected basket of things, and you pay a subscription fee of sorts. But I mean, it's got a great following, and frankly, it's an amenity for us. It's a value add for us. For sure.
I will say that when UCR managed Village on the Parkway, we had a farmers market.
I remember that.
And it was fairly successful for some period of time. The problem was getting the people to come here on a regular basis, because we started to have additional competition. McKinney now has a farmers market. So the first couple of months that we did it, we had a lot of vendors, and so word kind of spread that it was a good farmers market to come for, and it was a good alternative to downtown. But as other areas opened up, the quantity of available retailers was spread very thin, so ours gradually got smaller and smaller. And we ended up, we were giving away the space virtually free in order to encourage it. So if it's done, I think it has to be done on a big enough scale with a very firm commitment from people, and probably not in Whole Foods backyard, because they would, at the time we didn't have a grocery store in the village. But I think it's a fabulous idea. I love farmers markets.
I think
it's hard to go
idea
downtown.
Of making it a real venue and not just a weekend thing.
Yes. The hardest part
when they bring
is
pineapple to
producers.
a Addison Farmers Market, there's something wrong.
But the supplier, the suppliers are probably going to be the hardest thing to.
Well, there may be some thoughts in terms of what you guys have done. I've seen at Vitruvian is with the food trucks, because that seems to be very popular, in the downtown Dallas area. So, if you're thinking of decking the park decking the toll road sometime in the future, it's kind of coming up with that, what I was talking about earlier, that secret sauce that effectively can become organic, right? So people are already interested in the food trucks, and you can tack on, maybe this kind of concept to it. You've already got all those acres over there by Vitruvian, which is far enough away. You kind of allow it to go organic or grow organically. Just to your point, I think you can go at it from two directions. Either you make it huge, right, which obviously is a huge financial commitment, or you do it organically as a grassroots thing with social media and all the different things that already exist and build on top of things that UDR and Vitruvian has been so successful with.
Because I think the market, the population is large enough to having one downtown and one in McKinney and one in Addison. I think we can certainly support that. The population is very small.
Well, I think, and the last thing I'll say is that there's been a shift too in the way. I mean, obviously, there's a reason why Whole Foods popping up everywhere, and the reason why the farmers market downtown is expanding at such a rapid rate, and all these farm to table restaurants, or people wanting to eat clean and eat well and eat right. And I think that there's a big shift the last few years from fast food to. You see these fast food places now that they're serving food.
They have a healthy
choice. Healthy, I mean, and not just new chains that are popping up that are just focusing on farm fresh type options. So timing could be very we're growing in the region at a very rapid rate, and B, the fact that you've got us being right in the middle, like we often talked about, being where we are, I think.
Times are right.
Isn't there a committee working on the redevelopment of the Sam's project?
Yes.
That's something that maybe you can pass along to them.
Actually, they are, and in a community garden or a farmer's market are not components of that right now, but I'll certainly pass it along. But I think one of the challenges for Addison, and really any government entity, is we don't have a magic wand, and attached to that magic wand would be money. So we can't do any of those. But what we can do is take ideas like this and find ways to facilitate it. And there are opportunities in Addison. One of the things that, as mayor, always bothers me when people turn to me and say, "Hey, Todd, Addison's just built out, isn't it?" No, it's not. Whether it's filling up more office space, building new offices, but we have redevelopment opportunities in Addison that really aren't the highest and best use. Tom's project is a perfect example. It was built out, but not built out the way he's building it. So we have to think a little more creatively maybe than we have in the past, where Texas typically, if there's something on that dirt, well, it's built. Well, no, maybe it can be something better. UDR and Vitruvian have been just textbook example of that. So there are parts of Addison that are approaching a redevelopment cycle where we could incorporate a farmer's market as part of an overall development project. Get a creative developer. We've fortunately been able to attract those kinds of developers to Addison and say, "Hey, yeah, that farmer's market idea, we love that. How can we integrate that into an overall package of amenities for either retailers or residents or businesses or everybody?" So I think it's a perfect thing to add to that list of big ideas.
Thank you for watching our next big idea roundtable discussion presented by Addison, the magazine of the North Dallas corridor here at the Addison Treehouse. We want to hear from you guys. We want to hear what your opinions are on the matters. Please feel free to comment on our YouTube page, our Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and check out addisonmagazine.com for more great ideas.